Hello, and welcome to my review of my heavily modified or rebuilt, to be honest, Sherman, M4A1 Sherman. If you have seen some of my videos, you know that this tank kind of changes every now and then. Like, I've never really had a version that I've been really satisfied with. But this one, I really like. It got very nice proportions. What I've mainly done with this is made it a bit lower, but more importantly I have got rid of the two wide tracks. So now instead I have single wide tracks on each side, which really gives a bit better proportions considering what tanks I do have double wide tracks on. Some things that are much bigger, bigger heavy tanks, for example the KV2 that I have, that I don't even know if I reviewed yet. That one have two wide tracks, for example, and that is a significantly bigger and heavier tank than the Sherman. Of course, this is a medium tank, and that's a heavy tank. So there's plenty of reasons to scale it down, in my opinion. So that's what I did. I scaled it down considerably. Yet wait, machine guy's kind of pointing the wrong way. There we go. Sorry. But I still managed to maintain a very nice looking front. I think the front is pretty much the same as oh god, sorry, as before, which I consider good things. I really like the front, but now it looks a bit better with the single wide tracks, and you can really see that it's very similar. And now it is, I believe it is 9 wide. Yes, it is 9 studs wide. And at one point I had 2 wide tracks and 9 wide Sherman. That was not my greatest version of it, to say the least. I'm going to point the camera down a bit more. There we go. See on the side here we still have a very similar layout for the suspension, but I've gone from using discs to using these road wheels here instead. And I do very much... Oh, there we go. And I do very much like these. It looks very good, it looks very appropriate and accurate, I'd say. And on the very back here, there have been plenty of changes. For example, I do have a much more detailed back here, so lots of details here, and this hatch opens up, just like so. I don't have an engine in there right now, but I have one lying around that I used in the old version that I can just easily fit in here, because it's still plenty of room in this one. And of course then on the back here you got the Jesus, come on, focus. Okay, that didn't go very well. So the camera is currently working against me. There we go. Nope. Come on. What is this? There we go. And of course those open up as well. It can be a bit tricky to open up now though, so I'm not going to do that. And of course those will just give you a perfect view of the engine bay. This side is very much the same. Got some nice fenders. They're using the smaller skis, kind of like that design there. Something else that kind of fun that you might not notice right away is that if you have a look on the top here, you can see that since it is 9 wide, but I still have the 4 wide here, the 4 wide grill part here, or hatch here, that is still centered. It's because I've actually laid tiles on the side, like this, to fill up the gaps on the side. So while I still maintain and have a 6 wide middle section here, that slopes down like this, to be able to have this centered and very nice look like this. But still have it, maintain a 9 wide body, because it's weight. I think it's a bit too big with 10 wide, and of course 8 wide. That would work. This wide is practically identical. So let's just move on to the turret. Zoom in a bit. See if we can get this working. There we go. You can see the front gun mantlet there. Does move up and down just by a little bit, not that much. And this have a 105 gun mounted on it. I don't actually know if the Sherman ever had that, but just for shitting giggles. And mostly because I couldn't find a gun barrel that would look a bit more appropriate. So we're gonna go with that for now. The gun mounted is not the prettiest thing in the world, but for now it will do. Other than that, the turret have a very nice slope to it. It's a bit low, I'd say. I would like to have it a bit higher. You can see it's just not very high, but you can see the slope and the slope around this. That is very nice in my opinion. And of course, the hatch opens up, and the figure fits in there, of course. So it's a completely rebuilt version. It took me quite some time to do this because I've been building tanks for a long time now, so it kind of took some time before I figured it out. But I have to say I'm very, very satisfied with how it went. I'm gonna see if I can find a figure here that I could just compare the size with. There we go, found a dude already. So if we just take an American soldier here, it's gonna put it on the side here because if we angle it down like this, it's gonna appear much higher than it actually is. So there we go. You can see that he is about almost as tall as the chassis. It's 2 plates higher than this. It basically reaches up to where the sheet slope starts, and I really think that's a very appropriate height for the Sherman. It's not too high, but not too low either. It's a very nice height for it, and I have to say that I'm very, very satisfied with how this turned out. After a long time of like designing and such, I can't say that I'm anything else but really happy with it. And I really hope you enjoyed this as well. And that's all for me for now. Goodbye.